Hi everyone, this is your boy Duke with a new session of English with Duke. Remember to subscribe to my channel, English with Duke, so you can follow all my videos. All right. Before I move forward with the new stuff I have for you today, I'd like to do a recap of what we talked about last time. In my last video, I talked about accent, and I said accent has three components: intonation, liaison, and pronunciation. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice in speaking. Basically, you go up and down when you speak. It's not straight line. I said it's like music. It's like you going up and down. And the second one is liaison, is how you connect words. You connect words so everything flows better, so everything goes smoothly. You don't speak word by word because you don't want to sound mechanical when you speak. That's why you connect words in conversations. And the third in pronunciation, and I said pronunciation is the way in which a word is pronounced. Basically, is how you pronounce words when you speak. So today, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about intonation with you. And there are three ways you can stress a word. Three ways you can make intonation. The first one is you stretch out the word. You stretch out the word you want to draw attention to. All right. You stretch it out. Normally, in a conversation, you don't normally speak like that. You don't normally stretch every single word in when you speak. But for the sake of practice and meaning, so you stretch out the word you want to draw attention to. That's one way. The second way is you get louder. All right. It's not like you're screaming or yelling. You're getting louder, or you're raising the volume so you can command attention. And the third way is to change pitch. Changing pitch is like you're changing the tone. You're changing tone. By doing that, you kind of tell the listener that something interesting is coming. All right. Those are the three ways you can stress a word. Three ways you can make intonation. You stretch out the word. You get louder, and you change pitch or the tone. Um, I have a few examples, for you today. Few examples to help you better understand what I just said. Um, but before I give you the example, let's do a recap uh, of noun and pronoun intonation. All right. Remember last time I talked about when you making new statements or you're giving new information, you stretch the nouns. When it's old information, you stretch the verbs. So why is that? Because when you're giving new information or you're making new statements, the person you're talking with or the person you're having a conversation with doesn't know who and what you're talking about. If you start a conversation with pronouns, they won't have any idea who and what you're talking about. That's why you start with pronouns. Then as you go along in the conversation, as you move forward in the conversation, then you can change nouns with pronouns because they already have an idea who and what you're talking about. All right. So then it becomes old information. You can replace noun with pronouns. An example could be Billy works in a restaurant. Billy works in a restaurant. Billy restaurant. The two nouns. Those are the two nouns I have here in a sentence. Billy and restaurant. Billy works in a restaurant. He works in one. Billy works in a restaurant. He works in one. You could see I have Billy and restaurant. Those are the two nouns, so I stress them. I say Billy works in a restaurant. He works in one. So once I replace the nouns Billy and restaurant with pronouns, I stress the verb works. But what do you see happening here also? Here you see liaison is also happening. So I don't say Billy works in a restaurant. I say Billy works in a restaurant. So you can see that works in a becomes works in a. Works in a restaurant. Billy works in a restaurant. He works in one. Remember I talk about sound unit? Sound unit is like you don't speak word by word. So two or three or four words can become one. All right. You just saw that with this example. Billy works in a restaurant. He works in one. And another one could be the kids have a choice. The kids have a choice. The kids have a choice. Kids and choice. These are the two nouns I have here, so I stress them. The kids have a choice. So the kids have a choice. I'm giving new information. I'm making new statements, or I'm making a new statement, so I stress the nouns. So once I replace the nouns with pronouns, so I stress the verb. They have one. The kid have a choice. They have one. The kid have a choice. The kids have a choice. They have one. The Another example could be The boys like the bike. The boys like the bike. The boys like the bike. So I speak like that so I could show you where the intonation falls. The boys like the bike, but you don't say the boys like the bike. You don't speak like that. All right. So you would sound a natural, non-standard. So you want to sound as natural, as standard as possible when you speak, but you're not yelling. All right, you're not raising your voice too loud. Like I say, you get louder, or you stretch out the verb. You stretch out the word, but you make it so natural that nobody won't notice that if you nobody will ever notice that you are being weird in a way, or you sounding unnatural. All right, so you say the kids like the bike. You see, the kids like the bike. They like it. You see, they like it. The kids like the bike. I'm sorry, the boys like the bike, or you could say the kids, the boys, the girls, and so on. It doesn't matter. So the kids like the bike. They like it. The kids like the bike. They like it. So you see here, you stress the nouns when you're giving new information, and you stress the verb when it becomes old information. These are the two basic patterns that we have. The two basic patterns we have here is the noun and pronoun intonation. It's a very simple practice, practice, practice. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. All right. So that's what you need to do. You go ahead. You can make your own example. Doesn't matter. Use your own examples so you could practice. This is you can. Something I'd also like to mention is that when it comes to intonation, you can literally change. You can literally move the stress from one word to another word, right? You can move the stress from one word to another word. What do I mean by that? Depending on the meaning you try to convey. So you can switch the stress from the first to the second to the third to the fourth to the fifth, and so on and so forth. It all depends on what you want to say, on what you want to mean. That's what I've always said. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Why I say you can literally change the meaning of a sentence. A sentence can have like more than one meaning. Just I'm saying that. But why? Because if you move the stress from one word to another word, then you mean something different. Because you don't want to say something to the person listening to you and having the person understand something different, something totally different than what you would like the person to understand. That's what I'm saying. The wrong intonation can send the wrong message. You got to be careful when you speak. Use the right intonation so you make yourself understood properly. Now, in my, I know it takes time, but what I'm trying to do also is to find a way to write some stuff down for you guys so you can take notes, because I understand some people are visual learners. They learn a lot better when they see things. So I'm trying to see if I come up with something where I can write stuff down for you, take notes, and then you can practice together. And then that way, when you go home, you have something in front of you so you could refer to. And in my next video, I think I'm still gonna talk a little bit more about intonation, because there's so much when it comes to intonation. There's so much. We have when you have descriptive phrases and you have set phrases. Descriptive phrases and set phrases. When you have descriptive phrases and set phrases, the intonation is not the same. You see what I'm saying? So, like what do I mean by descriptive phrases? Like when you have an adjective and a noun. All right. So you try to describe something. For example, if I say a white house, a white house. So I am right now. I'm saying the house is white. You see, a white house. You see, the intonation falls on the second word, which is house. But if I say the White House, I'm not talking about a house that is white. I'm talking the place where the president resides or the president lives in. So that's why I say the White House and a White House. So if I say living in a White House, or he lives in a White House, so I'm sorry, he lives in the White House and he lives in a White House. Those are two different things. So you need to really pay attention to whether the intonation is on the first or on the second. Then you know the person is talking about whether they're talking about the White House where the president is, or the White House, any house that is painted white. All right. So that's what I say. Intonation does matter, because the wrong intonation can send the wrong meaning to the person, which you don't want to. Okay, you don't want that to happen, because that will cause confusion and misunderstanding. And yep, if you like the video, give me a like. Subscribe, keep watching my videos, subscribe to the channel. And if there's anything you didn't like in my previous videos, please let me know down in the comment sections. If you want me to change something, make some adjustment for you guys, please let me know, because this is for you. I'm not here to teach you guys. Like I said, it's not like a teaching class. It's me interacting with you, practicing. So practicing with you in order to help you improve your English in the areas where you need improvement. So we can do that. So like I said, pronunciation, accent, pronunciation, liaison, and intonation are the three components when it comes to accent. All right, so let's practice. Keep going, and subscribe to the channel. Share the videos, and so that more people can know about it. And maybe, you never know, they might learn something out of it. All right. So thank you guys. You stay safe, and see you next time for another video. Thank you.